Regular contributions. This is likely why you're here. As noted previously, when you log into the fiduciary portal, it will take you to your homepage. On the homepage, there is a drop-down if you are associated with multiple plans within the portal that you can navigate between. You will see on this page any plans that you're associated with as well. If there are multiple, again, as we've stated previously, you can toggle through multiple pages using the next button. This will also show you any payrolls that are currently outstanding. So once a file has been received, once a submission is in process, once it's been submitted into the flow, this is where you're going to find any kind of outstanding data. Once everything has been processed, then you're going to go to your contribution history page, but we'll get to that later. When you click on regular contributions, this is going to bring you to a page where it shows you everything that you need to know about what is currently pending and where you're going to upload your file. You'll see here that it does say file due. You are not direct to vendor, so it's going to say no. And then it's going to just give you all of your indicative information with regards to your payroll. Again, if anything is amiss or not correct with this, please reach out to the fiduciary services team and we will assist you in getting that corrected. You will see the pay date here. You'll also see an upload deadline. This is the deadline that we need to have the information uploaded to NBS to be able to process the file in a timely manner. The deposit deadline is specific to you and how many days it takes on average to get that deposit into the vendor. So this deposit deadline is set at 8/6. So when you log in, you can see that this is my pay date. I have to have the file uploaded by this date, and I do have a deposit deadline. This is when the funds actually need to be traded into the account. So the upload deadline is the deadline that the file needs to be received by NBS for processing. The deposit deadline is the deadline that the assets actually have to be transferred in and traded into the participants' accounts. So that's all that information that you're going to see when you log in here. You'll have your file due that shows that this is the one that's outstanding. Now, if you have multiple payroll files will show here as needing to be uploaded. That's if you have different divisions that are using different bank accounts, those kinds of things. You can download your templates right here. These are the verified templates for processing. It has everything in the correct order. If you have any questions on what each field needs to look like, you can download the payroll field description. This will tell you how many digits need to be listed within the Excel file. It will also show you how many, if it needs to be letters versus numbers, those kinds of things. So once you've clicked on that, we have some fun features here. Initially, what we're going to have is this no contributing participants at this time, census only. We do have clients who are not having any participants currently contribute. However, we do still need that census information uploaded. This is so that we can make sure eligibility is being tracked properly, hours are being tracked properly. This is so that on a per payroll basis, we're capturing that census data for all employees, not just those who are eligible and participating. So what we want to do is we would simply mark no contributing participants at this time and census only. And then the contribution amount will be 0 because there is no money going into the account. This is simply a census file. It's going to have all the other sections at 0. There's going to be nothing there. Again, as I mentioned before, if you need anything for the census template or the payroll field descriptions, you can click on them in that upper corner and it will get you that information. If by chance you upload a census file that has data in it, that there is dollar amounts, or if a row or cell shift, This is going to tell you that there are contributions within this census file, but because you've marked that there are no contributing participants at this time, it will mark that this is only supposed to be demographic data, but we're seeing that there are totals. So then you want to go back and fix the file at that time. When uploading a regular contribution file, you're going to go through the steps of choosing your file, uploading it, and validating it. Some of the things that happen when this file gets validated is we are checking to make sure the file is safe. There are no viruses or bugs or anything attached to it that shouldn't be. The other thing we're looking for is any kind of validation errors. Now, this is going to be things like a date of hire before a date of birth, those kinds of things. We're looking to make sure that the data in the system that you're putting in your file is in integrity prior to it coming into us, so that you don't have those back and forth emails about, oh, there appears to be missing data or anything like that. So in this file, there were 5 errors. And so it's going to tell you your error is going to pop up, and it's going to give you 2 options. It's either going to say, can I edit this online, or do I want to download the file for editing? We typically recommend download the file for editing to make sure that you're capturing the proper file with all of the data in your system. However, if you only have 1 error and you want to just go in and it was simply a keying error, you can go in and also fix it online. However, our preference is that you download and then re-upload a corrected file. If you were to download the file, it's going to again highlight in red where you need to make corrections. What's great about this is that you can actually filter or sort so that you're only looking at those rows that actually have red in them. So you're only looking at that data that we're needing to correct. So that's in part why we have that there like this. If you choose to edit it online, it is going to show you, like we have listed down here, showing 1 of 6 entries. It will show you the row that it's listed on. It will also show you what the error column is, and it will tell you what file formatting issues we're seeing. And it'll show you the error value if we do happen to have anything in here. For example, employer safe harbor match. The field is optional, but it does require a currency format. And here we have L0. So you would simply put in the corrected amounts here, the corrected values here, and you would submit if you were to do it online. Again, if you were to download, which is the preferred method, you would make these corrections and then re-upload the corrected file for submission. Once you have submitted, you'll notice that the status has now moved from file needed to processing submission. So this is telling you that your file has been submitted to NBS. We are in the process of reviewing it for accuracy, reviewing to make sure that there's nothing missing and nothing needed. So it does go through an additional person step at NBS before going into payroll validation. Then it's submitted to the payroll team for processing. When you log back in, there will be a home, so you can go back to the home screen and you can again see what the status of the file is that you've sent in for whatever pay date you're looking at. So the 7/28 one we were just looking at says file received. We also have processing submission. So once file's been received and it gets into and it's actually been submitted to the payroll team for processing, you're going to see that we're processing the submission. So everything is in process, everything is moving forward, everything is good to go. If there are any errors, you will be receiving a notice from our system letting you know that there are errors with the file and we need you to re-upload it. You'll come back here, the system will be open for you again to simply re-upload the file, and you'll be able to go from there. You can also contact us at any time and work with us on any of these issues if you do get a file rejection or anything to that respect. Once the files have been submitted and everything is in, let me backtrack. When you do on the home page, click on the contribution details, it will show you the information that has been submitted with regards to that pay file. So it's going to give you your name. It's obviously not going to have a trade date yet because we at NBS have not yet verified that the funds have transferred into the participants' accounts. It will show you the payroll deadline, the pay date, upload deadline, the amount. Then you can also download the file here. When you submit your file, it will automatically download to your system so that you have record of it. However, if you need to come back and look at the file again, this is where you can download. So this is all from the home screen. Now, once everything has actually been processed, it's going to move off of this screen and it's going to move into your contribution history section. So again, when you're on your home page, the only thing you're looking at is current outstanding active work. So if you come to this page and there's absolutely nothing here, it means that everything's been processed and you're good to go. And then you can go to your contribution history page to review the information that's there. So on your contribution history page, you will be able to see things like what time, whether or not the contribution was on time or late. You'll be able to navigate into each of these payroll descriptions to see any notes that may be applicable. So any notes that we put into our system are now also going to feed out to you. This is also where you're going to see the trade date. So the actual date that we're showing that the funds traded into the accounts. It's also going to show you who submitted the contribution. So if this was a payroll company, if this was you as the sponsor, whoever submitted the files, this is going to show you who submitted it. It's also going to show you the amount. And again, like I stated before, any notes associated with the file are also going to show up here. You can, as the contribution submitter, also provide notes if you have any comments that you want to submit to NBS so that we can keep an eye on something. If you have any questions on or comments on that, feel free to contact us and let us know. One-time contributions. These are going to be very similar to our ongoing regular contributions, though we needed to make sure we had a place for you guys to put in bonus payrolls, to put in any kind of annual compensation, annual contribution files, profit sharing, those kinds of things. So the one-time contribution is going to be used for any of those kind of extra payrolls that come in that fall outside of a standard regular contribution. Similar process, the errors are going to do the same that they've done on previous submissions. If there are errors, it's going to pop up and ask you to correct those prior to sending them in. Again, you can make any notes here if you have any comments that you need with respect to the file. It is going to give you a payroll date. If it's a bonus payroll, a commission payroll, an annual contribution, those kinds of things, you'll put the dates in here. If it is an annual contribution, you're going to use the plan year end as your pay date, and then just the total amount. Once you have submitted that payroll, that one-time payroll, it will show up on the home page until it is processed. And then once it is processed, it's very similar to all the other regular contributions. It's just going to show up here. And the only difference is the payroll cycle frequency is going to show as a one-time payment. Again, as we've discussed in previous trainings, if you want to hammer down to a specific payroll schedule, you can do the drop down here and move to a specific schedule if you have multiple that you're processing. The other thing you can do is display, you can display all contributions that have come in, or you can display just the ones that have come in for 24, just the ones that have come in for 25, 26, so on and so forth. Again, as we stated previously, this is only current data that is indicative to this fiduciary portal. If there were contributions processed in the prior portal, they are not going to be available on the site. However, you can reach out to fiduciary services at any time and get a history of those contribution deposits as well. Thank you for your time today, and we look forward to launching this amazing new portal. Thank you. Bye-bye.